I'd like to call to order this meeting, special meeting of the Cunningham Town Board. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Ms. Wu?
Here.
Ms. Hersey?
Here.
Mr. Brown?
Here.
Mr. Roberts? Mr. Colebrook?
Here.
Mr. Miller? Mayor Marlin?
Here.
Ms. Shenoweth?
Present.
Mr. Williams?
Here.
Okay, we have a quorum. Next up on the agenda is public participation. Does anyone wish to address the Cunningham Town Board? Okay, I don't see any hands raised. We'll move on to new business. First up is resolution number 2020-12-030R, resolution authorizing the supervisor to sign a contract with Volo Broadband for internet service. It's probably Wayne. Did you want to speak to this?
This is so the assessor's office will have internet service in the new location at the Lincoln School Mall we're moving to.
Okay. Are there any questions for Wayne? Sharice.
Wayne, what is the speed? Because that's what I was looking in the contract and it's like, this is typical speed. What is typical speed?
So they, for at their base price, they don't guarantee a minimum speed. However, if what they said was if at the base price the speed proves to be inadequate, that we can pay for a guaranteed higher speed at $1 per megabyte.
Okay, so you don't have a guaranteed lower Mbps.
No.
Okay, so if you guys have issues then with like it locking up or something like that, will you be forced to pay more?
Well, so for example, if we wanted to guarantee 50 megabytes up and down, we'd have to pay an extra $50 a month. So it'd be like 109, which is kind of comparable to what we have now.
Oh, okay, so okay. All right, that's the only question I had when I was looking through everything.
Any other questions? Could we have a motion to get this on before you?
I'll offer a motion.
Okay.
So I offer a motion to approve resolution number 2020-12-030R, a resolution authorizing the supervisor to sign a contract with Volo Broadband for internet service.
Is there a second? Moved by Bill Colebrook, seconded by Mary Alice Wu. Any further discussion? Sharice.
Another question I had is, did you look into, was it I3 broadband to see what the comparative price?
I did. They were not available at the Lincoln Square Mall. If frankly, if we could have went with I3, we wouldn't have needed a resolution since we already have a contract with them.
Oh, okay. But it's because they don't service Lincoln Square?
No, they don't.
Okay. That's what I'd ask.
Any other questions? Okay. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Ms. Wu?
Yes.
Ms. Hersey?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Colebrook?
Yes.
That motion passes. Next up is resolution number 2020-12-031R, resolution authorizing the supervisor to sign a subcontract agreement with Champaign-Urbana Public Health District for COVID-19 relief. Danielle?
Yeah, so briefly, and sorry to call you back mid-month, but we really want to be ready to hit the ground running with the first of the year. So CU Public Health received funds specifically for Champaign-Urbana to support COVID relief. They particularly wanted to support rental assistance. CU Public Health does not run a rental assistance program, and the two townships are the entities that run rental assistance in Champaign-Urbana. So they wanted to pass through this grant. I, of course, recused myself in the vote on this, but it was passed and comes to the town board for your approval. And our goal is with these dollars, and I'm working on what we can pull from our angel donor funds and the dollars that are being recycled through the CURE Fund. I am hoping to have COVID rental relief to augment what the city of Urbana is doing with the first of the year. So I will be able to give an update. I also just wanted to mention this last Sunday, yesterday, we had a coat drive and a free food giveaway. And so we had about 250 people show up to that event, and we served 250 sack lunches, 100 that were taken home to family members, 200 meals, hot meals, and gave away about 400 coats. So there's certainly, we're really trying to gear up for to do significant COVID relief as it gets colder in January and February, and this is a piece of that.
Is there a motion to get this before the council? Mary Alice.
I have a couple of questions for Danielle. Do you want a motion first?
Go ahead and ask the questions. Sorry.
All right. So Danielle, in the services agreement, it lists housing assistance, utilities, medicine, compensation for food purchases, et cetera. It kind of goes on the list here. Is that boilerplate, or is there a reason why it doesn't just list rental assistance and utilities here?
Yeah, I think that the public health wanted to give us broad discretion. They specifically talked about, Julie talked about the desire to support housing assistance and utilities. The other items that are, this is kind of out of their grant. It's like the things that you can buy with this specific grant, and they've listed it here. But I'm most likely going to do the housing assistance and utilities, although the UU Church is actually doing a pretty significant drive to support utilities through Township. So we'll see kind of where the needs and services are. So I don't expect to do delivery expenses for drivers, printing educational materials, etc. We'll focus our support on housing assistance and utilities at this time, because we have other places that we can, and other funds to fund the rest of those items. And I think both City of Champaign Township and ours have the exact same language in these contracts.
So that was my next question, because it talks about target populations in the Champaign County community. And I was wondering why it didn't say within the City of Urbana or the Cunningham Township boundaries.
Yeah, so I think, again, that is part of the grant constraints, and I would have to check with Julie what the plan is outside of. So CU Public Health, the public health district is Champaign-Urbana Public Health District, and it's fairly contiguous with Champaign-Urbana. There is a county public health district. My guess, if I were to ask Julie, is that there were dollars that came through and some were portioned out through the county board of health and some through CU Public Health. So the grant as a whole, what you're seeing under the services is essentially the language of the grant that was received. And my guess is that the county is being served. I know that there's 25,000 to each township, but I know that the dollar figure for the grant is much larger. So my guess is that we'll be parceling this out through other organizations and possibly through RPC.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions? Could we get a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Okay.
I will move for approval resolution number 2020-12-031, a resolution authorizing the supervisor to sign a subcontract agreement with the Champaign-Urbana Public Health District for COVID-19 relief.
A second.
Moved by Mary Alice, seconded by Sharice. Further discussion? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Ms. Wu,
Yes.
Ms. Hersey,
Yes.
Mr. Brown,
Yes.
Mr. Colebrook.
Yes.
That motion passes. And with no further business before this special meeting, we are adjourned. Just a note, we will be back here at 7 p.m. with the second of 3 meetings tonight, and that's a special city council meeting. So we'll see you at 7. Thank you all.
See you soon.